to the basement, one dream, 3 mics, street dad just navigated life. Follow and subscribe and come chill and vibe, man. Now get ready, cause the basement is
Welcome back to episode 4, right?
Episode 4.
Wednesday. How's everybody doing? This is top level content from the lower level. Welcome back to the basement. How y'all doing today?
Oh, I'm peachy. I got something for y'all
Alright.
to start this out, though.
You said this morning.
Hey.
It's 11 o'clock at night, son.
Well, I was saying this morning because, a lot of people listen to podcasts on their morning commute. So, you know what? Maybe they wanted to hear that. Maybe they needed to hear good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. What you got for us, old bud?
So, I stumbled upon, it started as a meme. And before I give memes any kind of credibility, especially whenever it comes to sports and stuff, I do my own fact checking on it, okay? And then the fact check came back and it was slightly different, but I saw where the difference was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still enough to be, kind of entertaining. So what I have here is
busting out the notebook paper.
which NFL teams have not had an MVP?
Oh,
Have not had an MVP.
Yes.
Bengals?
So, Bengals have. Boomer Esiason.
Oh,
I don't even know who that is.
he's old.
He's a broadcaster now.
Vikings?
That was in my head, dude.
Nope.
Randy
Minnesota
Moss.
Vikings.
I don't remember who it was. I don't have the list of each individual person who
Oh.
was, but
How
and
many
what?
is there?
Well, it depends on how you want to look at it, okay? Because like I said, there's slight variations. Official awards, like official MVP, you look at it, there was 6. If you count the Associated Press, the AP, which is what a lot of people go off of, there's 7.
Rams.
Nope, Rams had one.
I don't want to say this because it's painful, but it's a Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay is one
Damn!
of them. Tampa Bay has never had an MVP.
Ah,
I want to say the Dolphins, but I'm thinking Marino was. for
Marino
sure.
was one. I did
Yeah.
see that. I didn't-
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep, Jaguars are another.
Houston Texans.
Texans are another.
Um,
Oh man. Not see.
Atlanta
Seattle.
Falcons.
Falcons have had one.
Falcons.
Warwick Dunn, maybe?
I think it was done.
Was it Warwick Dunn?
I'm pretty sure.
He played for Tampa Bay and he ain't give us no MVP. Let's think here.
Oh, he was old as the hills time as he come over there.
Obviously,
So-
it's not New England. It's not Pittsburgh. It's not
No.
the Giants.
No.
Name have played for the Jets.
Jets, yeah.
So Jets.
And
It's not
Manning
one.
played for the Colts.
Jets is
Colts.
one of them.
Jets.
Jets? Namath was never?
Nope.
Wow.
That may have been too long ago.
Wow.
That's actually not the one that I was talking about, like with the variation. So
That
I even
is
put the
surprising.
bonus team on there. Yeah. There's another team that's really surprising on that list too.
Well, it's
How
not
many,
the
how many do we
Bears.
have left?
So let's see. You've gotten the Jets, the Texans, the Jaguars, and the Bucks. So you've got 2, like that have officially not had one, and then there's one that has not had an Associated Press.
Green Bay Packers.
Packers have
I
had
would say
one.
they had Favre on.
Shit, they had Rodgers who won it like back to back.
That's true. I forgot about him.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, we have these Panini cards.
We'll plug that in a
We'll
minute.
plug that in a minute. That was just funny.
Um,
The Bears have had one, haven't they?
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
Bears have had one.
Yeah,
Lions.
Barry Sanders.
Lions have had them. I'll give
I
you a
would
hint.
say-
Both of them, both of the regular ones are both NFC teams.
I was going to say Panthers, but Cam Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton had
Yeah.
one.
Saints have had one.
Drew,
Are you
Saints?
sure about that?
No,
Drew
Brees didn't
Brees?
win. He
No.
didn't win it.
So
Saints is one of them. Saints have not had an MVP.
well, the NFC
That
South
one was
was
honestly
good.
one of the. That was one of the more shocking ones to me because I really thought that
Yeah.
Brees would have had it,
Yeah.
but it's just one of those years that it was one of those things where every time he had a good season, you had Brady or Manning who had a better season.
Nah, it happens.
That's true, yeah. What about the Chargers?
Chargers have had one,
Who? The Chargers.
Tomlinson, maybe?
LaDainian, LT,
probably.
Philip Rivers.
No, Rivers is
Yeah.
one of them.
I don't know.
I'm just
If
throwing
Brees,
names
if
out
Brees
this point,
didn't
buddy.
win one, I would hope that Rivers
Hold
didn't win
on,
one.
hold on. You said NFC.
NFC, yeah,
Yeah,
NFC.
Oh, well, I just said AFC too.
Yeah, I was about to say that's cool, man.
NFC.
It's not the Niners.
Niners have had
them.
them.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
they've had several.
Yeah, they had
probably.
Steve Young, Jerry Rice, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Seattle has.
What did I say?
Russell.
Theirs was actually Sean Alexander. I remember.
Oh, dude, that's an underrated player right there.
Hey, Sean
he was the
Alexander.
man back in the day.
Hey, Sean Alexander was one of my favorite players too.
Yeah. Sean Alexander.
NFC
He's
team.
number 37, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's just a random number.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
why,
like
but
I like it.
You said, is it surprising? This one? You think?
they have had some MVP caliber players, but it also won't surprise you if that makes sense.
Giants?
No, Giants have.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Uh,
It's not the Commanders. They've had one, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't know who off the top
Well,
of my
and
head.
the
but-
Redskins at that point.
Yeah.
It's not the Cowboys.
Nope, not the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys suck.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Boo.
Hey, where's the boo button?
I don't know if it works. Does it work?
I mean, I just heard some booing somewhere.
Yeah.
I hope that picked up.
Yeah. So,
And if I was paid to hit, we was paid to hit the boo button. Actually, no, we wasn't paid because Hunter hit the boo button for the Cowboys. So make him sleep on the couch.
let's
I
see.
still love you, Christina.
Let's see. NFC.
I'm drawing a blank.
I feel like we've been
an
all
idiot.
over it. Have we named a team? We've named a team out of every division.
What the NFC?
I
Philadelphia.
can't remember. So Philadelphia, I will say, is that one that's like they've had an MVP, but not an AP MVP.
So it was them.
No, there's
Was
a
it
different
Philly?
team. That was like the bonus team. So there's still one more.
Golly.
But
Wow.
Philly did surprise me because their only MVP was from like the 1960s.
That's crazy. They've had McNabb.
They've had McNabb. Look at the talent they've got.
Terrell
now.
Owens.
Yeah.
Tito.
What was the receiver's name? Deshaun.
Sean Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would kind of surprise me too. You know, to think that they haven't had one since like the 60s.
Yeah, I feel like an idiot right now. I'm drawing a
Hold on.
blank, buddy.
All right, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
This team resides in the same state as my favorite NBA team,
Cardinals.
the Cardinals.
I was going to say
Arizona.
Cardinals earlier, but I was thinking AFC
But-
West.
This is gonna sound real
Yeah,
bad,
they're
but
NFC.
Arizona has been so irrelevant that I don't even acknowledge they got a football team anymore.
But they are a team though that has had some MVP caliber players. You know, Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah. Fitz. Yeah, Fitz is good. He
Yeah,
played
wait a
at Pitt.
minute. I was about to say.
He played at Pitt. We all know
Hey,
what
but
I'm
he
saying
was
about
on the
Pitt.
cover of NCAA 2005.
Dude, Fitz was a great player.
Hey,
Honestly.
Is Dante Steele play for the Cardinals or is it Darius?
Dante.
Dante?
Yeah.
Dante. So that's the only reason
Okay.
why I like the Cardinals.
Well,
That's it.
we can get right back into your trivia question, but while I'm thinking about it, I gotta say this:
Mhm.
Pittsburgh Panthers football team. I saw your little post on Twitter.
Which
Your
one?
little Mountaineer pizza cost $13.09. It's great to know that we're your Super Bowl after all these years.
Yeah, you bunch of bums.
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 You know what we say about Pittsburgh, and we're trying to keep this a little bit more family friendly.
We're
but
trying to keep it at least PG-13.
eat shit, Pitt.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%.
1309.
Hey, I did start that chant though, because Sweet Caroline played whenever I went and saw Virginia Tech and Pitt play.
Mm-hmm.
I did get that chant started because Tech was actually winning that game. Tech's
Oh,
record,
no.
Tech's record of the games I've gone to is not that great, so I should probably stop going to them. But
So, okay, back to your trivia question.
Mhm.
This whole time in my head, I said the Cardinals, and I'm like, no, the AFC West is Oakland, Denver, and then San Diego or LA Chargers now. And then I was putting Arizona right there.
Boy, it makes sense.
So who am I missing in the AFC West?
KC,
yeah,
Are they in the West?
Kansas City.
Oh, well, that's why, because everybody else is irrelevant.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
yeah, because
Yeah.
the Cardinals they were in the NFC, and the easiest way I remember that one is just because they played against the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
They were
True.
on that Madden, what was it, Madden like 10?
10.
Where they had
Oh my
both of
God,
them
that
on
was.
there.
Yeah. That
I'm
was a
just
good
saying
Madden
that.
game.
Yeah, it was like all the Maddens in like the 10s from like 10 to 19 were some of the best Madden games. I don't know what happened whenever it hit Madden 20,
I know.
but there started to be a drop
I
off.
will tell you right now, if I had an original Xbox still, any Madden ever made, and we've talked about this before, does not hold a candle to ESPN 2K5. That was by far the best football
That game
game.
It was so
Ever.
good that EA forced the NFL to sign an agreement that they will be the exclusive rights holder
Yeah.
for
Dude,
video
Do
games.
you remember one of their selling points was the first person view? You could see the face
Dude,
mask.
that was awesome.
That was awesome.
That
dude.
was all
And
until you
had your
got
crib.
rocked.
You had your crib on there.
The
They
crib.
didn't
You
have
can put
the
your own
crib,
custom
though.
music.
Yeah, dude, that game was good.
In the crib, they added that into Madden 06.
Yeah.
I guess to try to replicate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked about video games a lot last episode, but man, we are gamers all our lives. That's just
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah, we're literally talking about games from like
Great.
the early 2000s.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're showing our age a little bit, but we still game now. We still wreck them kids.
This young buck over here, we was playing WrestleMania 2000 while he's still pooping green.
Yeah, right. Which one was the one that was green?
That was WrestleMania
Was
2000.
it 2000? Yeah, that's good stuff.
I will
Yeah.
say that, getting into some retro gaming is like one of the big things I want to do. Like, that's
Yeah.
like, I've got a 360, and that's about as retro gaming as I'm doing right now. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's not even really retro. I say that, but it came out in 2005.
Yeah, I kept my 360 just to play NCAA 14.
Yeah.
And now that thing just sits in a box behind the TV.
Yeah.
Hey, there's still some really good 360 games,
Oh yeah, I mean, great games. You know what was a low key, really good game, and it never really took off in America. It is. I mean, it is now. But my brother was in Germany, and he come back with an Xbox game called Earth Defense Force. Basically, Earth was invaded by giant bugs, and you just fought like ants and spiders. So yeah,
That's how
the
the
game.
Divers.
It was hilarious. It was a great game. I loved it. But I mean, it was one of them European titles or something. Well, it's a Japanese game actually. It was a Japanese game, and he got it over there in Germany and brought it over. And I'm like, this game is amazing. I mean, this is fun. It was great. So I gotta ask y'all a question real quick.
All right.
Everybody knows who we're fans of, team wise. We're West Virginia Mountaineer fans. It's the only right way. He's a Tech fan. NBA.
Where's your blue button?
Boo button, yeah. So I gotta ask y'all, who is your guilty pleasure team to pull for that you don't tell nobody else you're pulling for? And we're gonna go with college football this time.
College.
Well, I'm gonna ask you on all of them, and we're all gonna answer. So college football, Hunter, who is your guilty pleasure to pull for that nobody knows about and you don't want to tell nobody, but you're going to now?
I mean, truthfully, the only one that really comes to my mind would probably be Marshall. I mean, but like we've already talked about that, and that I do have like a lot of respect for Marshall and everything. As far as other teams go, I'm pretty good with Tech. I do really like Oregon. I've always really liked them, but not gonna lie, truth be told, whenever I was in the Army, I wanted to actually get stationed. Like I was trying to get switched over to active duty.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wanted to get stationed out in Washington because I looked, and it like wasn't that far from Seattle. And I'll touch on that one a little bit whenever you start talking about guilty pleasure NFL teams.
Yeah.
But they also weren't that far from where the University of Oregon was. And I got behind the hype of their uniforms and all that other stuff. But Oregon is another one of my teams that I really pull for.
Yeah,
I
right
can feel
there.
that.
What about your guilty pleasure college football team?
Man, I think everybody pretty well knows that I pull for the Gators.
I did not actually.
Oh, well, now you do. I like the Gators. But outside of the Gators, man, that's kind of a hard question, really.
It is.
I feel like we're pretty loyal to our college teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like some of the other sports will start drifting.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a team I find myself pulling for a lot to LSU.
Oh, Lord.
And I know
Oh,
you're
no. Yeah.
Yeah, and y'all can't hear the boo, but if you download the podcast, you'll be able to hear it. He just hit the boo button on me.
Yeah. The only thing good from LSU was Shaq.
And Burrow and Chase.
Okay.
There we
And
go
Jaden
with
Daniels.
I booed him again.
No,
Booed him again.
I mean, but I don't know. I don't know if that's my final answer though, because I mean, I like the SEC, and I know that's an unpopular opinion, but
SEC's killing football.
no, you know what? I'm gonna say Wake Forest. I like Wake
Bad.
Forest. I like Wake Forest,
Bad.
and I pull for them. My sister lives there. Yeah,
It's a cool stadium too, for real.
yeah, it is, and it's like a family
It is.
atmosphere. you
And they
know.
have Popeye's chicken.
Yeah, man, you can't go wrong with some Popeyes.
The Demon
Hey.
Deacon in the front of the stadium running. That's so cool.
Hey, speaking of Popeyes though, that travel plaza they just put in on the other side of Beckley, it's got a Popeyes.
I
in
know.
there.
I've seen that. I've
There's
seen
one in
that.
Whitfield though.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to
Hey,
eat there
Whitfield's
every
got a
day.
Waffle House.
Huh?
Ooh, Waffle
Whitfield's got a
House.
Waffle House.
I do like Waffle House.
Hey, don't. That's fighting words to me. Okay.
Dude, anytime we ever went out of town together, the first thing we do is find the first Waffle House and we eat it.
Nah.
Hey, let me tell you, I've already got my Waffle House order memorized down pat.
When Danielle lived in Huntington, there was a Waffle House right down the street from her house. I can take it or leave it, man. I know. Growing up in the South, that's one of those things. Like everybody loves
Man,
a Waffle House.
I
but-
love-
Yeah, I
Waffle
love
House.
Waffle House.
Hey,
Chocolate chip waffles.
woo! I just love it because of the extremes that Waffle House is. Because like you go there on a Sunday morning, you got like all these older waitresses that are super nice and super friendly. You know, like, oh, what can I get you, sweetie pie? And then you go there like 1:00 in the morning, Saturday night, and you got people like you got like two workers if you're lucky.
And they're wanting to fight each other.
Yeah, they're outside smoking a cigarette. Doesn't matter at what time it is. They're outside smoking a cigarette.
I don't.
And you pull on the lot, and they are mad at the world that you just pulled into the parking lot.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember or not, because you're quite a bit younger. than me.
You go hit the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, the omelet spot.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, that was like a Wild West over there. You never know what you was going to
And
get
it,
over
the
there.
bad part about it was across the road from the state police.
And they didn't give a dag on what was going on over there.
No. But let me.
Is that where Gaber's
It's
is now?
no, it's Dolly's Diner now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Dolly's
Hey,
Diner.
but Gabbers is good though,
Hey, I've never tried there, but that's one place I want to try so bad.
dude.
Because
they're,
like whenever I've dashed, I've gotten food from there,
Mhm.
and it smells so good, and it looks amazing.
Hey, you guys hear that? We're out here sparking and dashing. Like, follow, and subscribe.
Yes. You see this chair? This is a $5 chair. I'm 230 pounds. This chair ain't gonna make it through episode 10.
Y'all probably can't hear it, but the chair is screaming for help.
Oh, so let's get back to my guilty pleasure football team.
Oh, sorry.
We talked about this a couple episodes ago. BYU.
The Storming Mormons.
Man, I used to work night shift. They were the only team on.
Hey, all right.
But-
I'll go with that.
But my true guilty pleasure, because there are a lot of people that know me know I like BYU. Guilty pleasure team.
You're gonna say Notre Dame, aren't you?
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish. My dad knows this, and he makes subtle remarks to me. Not a lot of people know that I like the Fighting Irish.
That's terrible.
I do like Notre Dame.
Okay, so just sticking with that.
I'm judging.
All right.
you, bro.
You judging me?
So since we've all touched on our guilty pleasure college team,
Let's go college basketball.
college basketball.
College basketball. I'll start if you want to.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm a huge West Virginia fan. Duke Blue Devils. What happened in North Carolina?
Ouch.
That's about the fourth time we've heard about that.
I'm going to keep saying it. So, guilty pleasure. I got a conference. My guilty pleasure. I will, even if West Virginia and Duke are playing on TV, if I see these core teams playing, that's who I'm watching. Old school Big East basketball teams.
I go with
St.
that.
John's, Marquette, DePaul, who else we got? Seton Hall, all those teams, Villanova, Georgetown. That's my guilty pleasure basketball. If you lived through the Big East days in the
Man.
early 2000s, late 2000s, that was basketball. Basketball to its best. What's your guilty pleasure college basketball team?
You know,
Because
I've
I know you're the Tar Heel.
like I've touched on before, you know, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but I've told y'all, me and Christina, you know, we have, you know, in case I haven't touched on it, that is my girlfriend. The one thing, we have varying teams on like everything. College football, she's a little indifferent on. You know, She leans towards WVU, but it's one of those
I
things.
knew I liked her.
Oh, okay.
She is now here, and you're right here.
Okay. But the one team that her and I agree on across all sports, all of them, okay, is UNC basketball. But as far as like, I feel like that's like, I don't know if you could really consider that like a guilty pleasure.
No,
But I
because
do
half
like-
the country likes them.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But as
Yeah.
far as that goes, I really do like Xavier too. Like Xavier is one of the teams that I'll
Oh,
pull for if
musket
I see him.
men.
I will pull for Xavier. You know, they produced a lot of good NBA talent too.
You know what game I absolutely watch? Xavier and Cincinnati. Because
Yes, sir.
there is going to be a fight that game.
They hate each other. They hate each other.
Oh, that's college basketball right there. If you're out there and you, man, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
You're
they
good.
hate each other.
Hey, I was watching earlier. I think it was Arizona State and Arizona were playing.
Yeah, that's a good rivalry.
Oh yeah, it was. I was at McAdee's watching, and near the end of the game, I'm talking. There's only 20 seconds left. 2 players got ejected for flagrant 2 fouls.
That happens.
Listen, I got a little bit of a soft spot for Arizona, and I'll tell you why.
Wildcats.
Yeah, because I used to be a truck driver. I don't know. Yeah, I hadn't really talked about it much on the podcast, but I delivered furniture to their sports complex one time.
Oh, I did not know. that.
Yeah, and so the
That
athletic
seems
director,
nice.
it's pretty nice. The athletic director come out, and he we didn't have to carry the stuff in, but he kind of showed us around a little bit. So I kind of got a little bit of a soft spot for Arizona.
That's
Like,
cool.
not gonna lie, and I got a picture of their football stadium. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll incorporate it in the YouTube video. A picture that I took, but anyways, go ahead, my bad.
No, it's your turn. Guilty pleasure college basketball.
All right, so I'm going to piggyback off you. There's a conference that I like to watch. You're going to get mad when I say this, but I like UNC because I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. He's my GOAT no matter what.
It's okay. His favorite player of all time is Vince Carter.
Who
And,
also went to UNC.
He played
absolutely.
for Toronto.
Yeah, in the NBA.
Yeah, in the NBA.
I don't remember. What he
In
did.
college, he went to UNC.
They busy.
Maybe you should be a Grant Hill fan.
No.
Don't hate on Grant Hill. Man.
I
But
like Grant Hill.
But no, I mean, but in the rivalry though, honestly, I'm a Jordan fan, but I'll probably have to go with Duke. But anyways, my guilty pleasure is the Atlantic Sun Conference.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, the Colonial Conference. That's another good one, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I actually kind of like watching the Ivy Leagues.
Dude,
with basketball.
Princeton and Harvard can ball.
Yeah, they can.
Like,
I
maybe
used
they
to-
figured out the trajectory of the basketball. I don't know.
That's not what it is. Like, you're so smart they could do like that instant calculus and that instant geometry. Okay, I'm this many feet away from the goal. I need to angle it at this amount with this amount of force.
But like in the Atlantic
Right.
Sun, you got University of North Florida, which my aunt went to school there.
Oh, nice.
The North Florida Ospreys. It's a really cool logo too.
Is it the helicopters?
No, the bird.
Oh, the bird.
Yeah.
Well, the Osprey's military.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But University of North Florida is really close to the beach. So, I mean, it's pretty cool campus. But then you got the Stetson Camels, or no, Campbell Camels maybe. Stetson, they got a hat in
They're
the middle of the
cowboys,
floor.
aren't
That's
they?
a-
Yeah, I know. It's,
I'm gonna call them the hats. I don't
the
know.
hats.
I
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
The Stetson
Stetson's
hats.
is a cowboy
But
hat.
anyways, it's a small conference. Like I'm talking, I would compare this to like maybe going to like Concord to watch a game. Some of this, but man, they all. I think Furman's in there too. They hate each other. Every single one of them. They just hate each other. I love watching them.
Yeah, I just love college basketball.
College
This
basketball is good.
March Madness, man, it's great. We're gonna stick to this guilty pleasure. We're gonna go to the NFL now. NFL. You're a Bengals fan?
Yeah.
Man,
Who's
it's
your
hard to be
guilty?
in the NFL.
Yeah, who's your guilty pleasure NFL team to pull for?
I've kind of got 2, but they're both in the NFC. So I've at least remained loyal as far as AFC goes with sticking to my Bengals. I like the Giants. I pulled for the Giants, whenever I wasn't pulled for the Bengals because of Bradshaw. Bluefield boy going up there.
That's fine. I get that.
Well, my
Yeah,
uncle and my grandparents actually took me to his grand games.
We
They
played,
said they
we
told
played
me
against them.
Did
Damn, that goes to show the age differences. But they took me, like, I was a kid, and they took me to his, like, football games. They would even take me to his basketball games. They're like, this guy's going to make it, and you're going to remember this. You know, and obviously, here I am.
2-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, here I am. I do remember that.
You're right.
And so I did like the Giants during that time while he was there. Christine's going to kill me for that. But
Yeah.
but my biggest guilty pleasure team and probably my favorite NFC team is the Seattle Seahawks.
I can go with that.
I don't mind Seattle.
Hey,
For real.
everybody hated on like those lime green uniforms. I
Dope.
loved it.
I like
oh
them.
my god.
Plus,
liked
plus the Mountaineer quarterback.
Geno Smith.
Gino.
You know what though? All things said, you know, I know that we were rivals and stuff like that. I was happy to see Geno succeed just because for so long he was just that journeyman backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So to see him get his shot, I will say, you know, I'm happy for him.
He's
Poor
definitely-
Tyrod.
He's definitely put in his time.
He
Yeah.
is.
Poor Tyrod Taylor. He had his shot, and then first game of the season, their like main doctor punctured his lung with a needle,
Yeah, I saw that. Dude.
and then
Yeah.
Justin Herbert had to start the first game of the season.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Tyrod's only chance to be a starter.
History was wrote.
Yeah. I mean, he's just one of those guys. Like, and every time he's came in as a backup, he's done amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like he's never been able to, you know, reach that over the hill.
Right. Right. So who's your guilty pleasure NFL team?
Well, everybody knows by now I'm a Dolphins fan. Fins up, by the way.
I knew that was
Did you
coming.
know?
It's the fins up for me.
I knew that was coming. I just seen it in your eyes. Just go hit the fins up.
Yeah. But, and I think it's not very much of a secret that I also pull for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But I would say my guilty pleasure is mostly because of my girlfriend, even though I hope she doesn't hear this, but I pull for the Commanders. I like Jaden Daniels.
I really like Jane Daniels too. I think that he's a really humble quarterback. You know, he honestly took the exact same route that Joe Burrow did.
Oh, hell.
Hey, tell me I'm wrong though. He rode the bench with another team, transferred to LSU, lit it up, went to the NFL, lit it up.
I will say that Burrow has been a solid quarterback. I honestly thought he was going to bust.
I was worried about it, especially because I'm not even gonna lie, as a Bengals fan, whenever they first drafted him, I was a little scared. I was like, and that was a very heavy quarterback class because that class produced Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Jalen Daniels. I mean, not Jalen Hurts, Tua. I mean, there's a lot of good starting quarterbacks in that one draft class.
Especially Tua.
That's like, honestly, if you look up cards, okay. It sounds like you've been taking some of his hits to the head.
That was cheap.
Ah, that was dirty.
That was cheap.
But, like, if you look up some of the card packs, like, from 2020, those are expensive because there's
Yeah.
so many good players that came from that draft class. Like, their base rookie cards are going for stupid amounts of money.
Bless you. So, back to my guilty pleasure. I'm a Tampa Bay fan. Been a Tampa Bay fan all my life. Guilty pleasure team? I mean, I'm from Texas. It is not the Cowboys, though. The Houston Texans.
You know, I
Guilty
can get
pleasure
behind the
team.
Texans,
Yeah.
too.
Dude, those red helmets they debuted this year, the Red Crones,
Hey.
were fire.
Hey, plus
like
whether they
CJ.
wear them with their
Yeah,
red-
CJ, yeah, Stroud.
Hey, I hope that Tank Dell's able to recover from that
Mhm.
injury.
He's good, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're not certain he's going to be able to even recover from that
That sucks, man.
because he completely destroyed his knee. Like, kneecap, ligaments, everything in his knee was completely destroyed.
Shoot, yeah, that's terrible.
It is. I mean, because he was young,
Mm-hmm.
he was talented.
Man, I got a random thought.
What's up?
My bad for that. I was talking earlier about cool stadiums like the Arizona thing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the low-key coolest stadiums I ever saw. And I've been to almost every state, all except 4.
Mm-hmm.
UTEP. Down in that hole.
Oh, El Paso?
Yeah, down in that hole,
Yeah.
man. It's cool looking. But anyway,
I've just been on the East Coast
yeah.
side of things. I think I've never been in the stadium, but I've drove by a bunch and been able to look down inside of it. I love the color purple.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
It's cool looking. I've never been inside of
Death
it.
Valley's cool too.
It's cool looking. Yeah, with the boo button.
Death Valley though, in Baton Rouge, when you come into like town, there's a bridge, and I'm talking about this bridge is tall. When you peek at the top, you can see Death Valley to the right,
Mhm.
and you can see like the chairs and all that kind of stuff, and the purple that's in there really pops. It's
I
cool.
like that. There's a high school in McDowell County. There's Bradshaw, Riverview.
Riverview.
Yeah.
They're purple, black, and silver. They're the Raiders.
Yeah.
Their field, it's turf. It's sharp. I love it.
Yeah.
I just love that color scheme. I think it's so cool. It's
Yeah.
underrated.
I like purple.
Yeah, the purple is underrated. And
I will
the
say
only
this,
purple I don't like is TCU.
I went to the Alamo Dome whenever I went to see that Army All-Star game that I talked about in one of the last episodes. Let me tell you, I loved it because they sold actual like beef brisket sandwiches, like
Oh,
barbecue
man.
brisket
Nice.
sandwiches. I know, and imagine
Oh,
I'm
man.
at AIT at this point.
Oh,
I'm in
yeah,
Army
pretty
training, so our food isn't the best. And you give me the opportunity to buy a beef brisket sandwich.
100%.
I bought 3 of them, and they were like $12 a piece.
Yeah.
I didn't even care. I'm like,
Man.
I don't know when I'm gonna get this again, because this was in like my early stages of training. I wasn't even allowed to go off post at this point, so like the only things I could have was stuff on post.
Dang.
Nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
So, all right, guilty pleasure. We're gonna keep going.
yeah, absolutely.
MLB.
Ooh, MLB. I don't watch a whole lot of baseball, but when I did, I was Anaheim, but Los Angeles Angels. But if I had to say like a guilty pleasure, and this is guilty because
You better not say the Yankees.
we hate this city. We hate this city.
Don't say the Red Sox.
No, I mean, we hate this city as West Virginia fans.
Pirates.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh.
Well, I'm
Pittsburgh Pirates.
I'm actually a Pirates fan though. Like,
I like the
just
Cincinnati
because-
Reds too.
Well, the biggest reason I'm a Pirates fan is just because locally that's the only team that you get that you can watch all their games.
Well, you can watch the Braves. They're always on TV.
Yeah.
Which happens to be who I'm a fan of. That and the
I'm
O's.
about to say you wearing an Orioles shirt.
Yeah. I like the O's, man. My dad's been an Orioles fan.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, the Orioles have a lot of young talent right now too.
Dude,
Though.
the Orioles are right there every year. My dad's been an Orioles fan since he was a kid, man. His brother lived in Baltimore. His brother's way older than he is. And so he used to go to Baltimore all the time. But so I like the O's, but I would say my guilty pleasure team is probably Tampa Bay.
Oh, the Rays.
Yeah, I like them pretty good.
Well, that and kind of the thing with the Rays and the Orioles. Anybody that's not from this area, we got a farm system here. We had the Bluefield Orioles, who was affiliated with Baltimore, and then we had the
for
Princeton.
a very long time.
Yeah, then we had the Princeton Rays, who were affiliated with Tampa Bay. Well, then the Bluefield Orioles left, and then we got the Blue Jays for Toronto, and now they're the Ridge Runner, Bluefield Ridge Runners, and the Princeton
They're
Whistle
like the
Pigs.
Whistle Pig shut down.
They do.
That's what I heard.
Princeton doesn't have a
come
team
on,
now.
man.
Yeah, that sucks. Don't it?
I
Man,
think
low
that now
key.
Princeton High School is the only one who uses that stadium.
Uh-oh.
What?
What does that mean? Oh, never mind. It's nothing.
Don't
But
scare us like that.
Princeton Whistle Pigs is low key a cool name for a
No,
baseball
I love it.
team. Like, I think that is just flat out awesome.
Well,
Pulaski's the River Turtles.
that's cool too.
Yeah, I like it.
There's a lot of cool names in minor league baseball.
You got the Flying Squirrels. You got the Reno Aces. The Area 51s.
I'm
That's
trying-
just around. What was it? You got the Mudcats as one team.
Yeah, down there in they're in Tennessee, I believe.
I think so.
Carolina.
Then you got one team that's called the Fisher Cats.
Yeah.
I only know this because I played a lot of the MLB The Show.
Same. Is Gwinnett? They're the Braves, aren't they?
Yeah, they're the Braves.
But one of the Braves farm teams is their name's cool. I don't remember
Yeah.
what it
Well,
was.
they used to be in. You had Kingsport, had Mets. Was it the Braves? They used to be in this Appalachian League.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
it the
yeah.
Braves? I can't remember what city. It was.
Was it? It was over in Virginia.
You had Elizabethan was the Twins, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Who was the Braves now? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It wasn't Pulaski. They were the Yankees.
I will say this. I think
I can't remember.
that we need to
Well,
go
the
to like
Whisper-
some of the Ridge Runner games. This
I
year.
used to stay at the Bluefield Blue Jay games all the time. I would even drive to Pulaski. Dude, Pulaski Yankees, like I'm used to Bluefield, you know, Bowen Stadium's a historic stadium. Did you know the orange seats in those stadiums, you know where those come from? When that stadium burned down, they had seats donated from the Anaheim Angels. Donated them seats. That's where they come from.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those seats you sat in. But Pulaski, the Yankees, when you go down there, they had a section where you could play cornhole, and they actually had a section where you could sit and eat your food and watch the game on TV. Like it was above Bluefield and Princeton.
That's pretty cool.
It was crazy.
I think we should explain though why we think the Whistle Pig name. There's probably some people that listen to this don't have any clue what a Whistle Pig is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, I don't really know what a whistle pig is.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
outdoor stuff.
What's a
Like,
guess? What's a guess?
Yeah, guess what a whistle pig would be.
I truly don't even know.
No, just give us a guess. Shoot something out.
I'll give you a hint. It's a type of an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a pig that whenever it snorts, it whistles or some stuff. I don't know.
You're pretty far away. It's smaller than a pig.
That digs holes.
Digs holes, yeah.
Well, I have no idea.
Groundhog.
Yeah, it's groundhog. Whistle pig.
Wow.
Yep.
What they
What
call
is groundhog?
what they call skunk? What they backwoods polecat?
Yep. Polecat.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's funny stuff. But we had 36 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
The
I will
episode,
say-
this is Wednesday's episode. Episode what, 5?
4.
Yeah, this one's episode 4.
Sorry, episode 4. I got a little ahead of myself. I'm feeling a little good.
You trying to put us into superstardom just a little bit early.
Mhm.
Okay, baby steps.
We're pushing content. That's what we're doing. We're trying to push good content.
So as far as my guilty pleasure MLB
Oh yeah,
team goes,
I'm sorry. Cut
So-
you off.
no, you're good. One thing I will say is I do really like that the fact that Bluefield's team is the Ridge Runners,
Mhm.
because Levi, who I don't know if you guys know or not, is my son. He is obsessed with trains. That is his thing. He is a
yeah.
train kid.
Mhm.
And I took him to a Ridge Runners game, and every time they score a run, they do like a train whistle.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that made that kid's world light up hearing that.
That's awesome.
I
Then he
heard,
got mad whenever they weren't scoring runs.
I heard a rumor, and I don't know how true it is, that in the outfield they was eventually going to put a little train to go out back and forth.
That would be cool.
That would
They
be
can't even
really
keep
cool.
that little train that they've got in the park running though.
Yeah, that's unaffiliated.
I don't know. They post about it a lot, and that's
Yeah,
apparently
I think-
one of the motivations
I
for
think
their
it
team.
is called the Ridge Runner.
It is the Ridge Runner. Yep.
Yeah, that was like part of the reason why they named it that.
Yeah, I mean it is cool, a little cool thing here.
Yeah.
It's a weird little park because it's in Virginia, but it's owned by West Virginia.
No, so the
Or is it opposite?
the state line is actually back in the park. So the front part of the park is actually West Virginia, but the state line, it's like half and half.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So have you been there since they redid everything?
Oh, when they changed it over? No.
They put the turf down on the whole new playground, and then they got the
Oh, no.
40-yard dash thing.
Yeah, they've got an actual.
Oh no, I
football.
haven't. Yeah, I haven't been inside there yet. No.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. I took the kids a few times last year.
That's awesome.
But anyways, did you do who was your guilty pleasure MLB?
MLB? Oh yeah, I did.
Who was it?
I did.
Oh, Pirates. That's
Yeah,
right.
Pirates.
That's right.
So mine,
Anyway.
my primary team, my
You
primary.
put me on the spot and
MLB
confused me.
My primary MLB team is the Pirates, but that's just
Yeah,
because.
guns, bud.
Well, my family was actually always Braves fans,
Lost Bravo.
and then they started pulling for the Pirates because after my grandpa retired and stuff, he just was at home all the time watching TV.
Oh,
And he
so-
still loved baseball. My family's always been a baseball team. I was not coordinated enough for baseball.
I thought you was gonna say you said your grandpa retired. I was like, man, was he a pitcher or something?
Yeah, right.
I was confused.
He's like, hold up.
But after he retired, he was spending all this time at home and stuff. The Pirates were the only team he could watch all their games and keep up with consistently.
Listen,
And he actually was able to take me to. He took me and my uncle to one of the Pirates games, and we got to see the whole weekend series. and they played against the San Francisco Giants, and they actually started Tim Lincecum one of the games. Pirates put up 9 runs on Tim Lincecum in the first 3 innings, so they yanked him early. And we actually stayed in the same hotel as the Giants. And I remember we rode down the elevator with one of the Giants players. It's funny, I just remember his first name was Hunter, but I can't remember his last name now, but at the time he was one of their major players. I can't remember.
I was in Pittsburgh when they were building the, what is it called, PNC Park?
Yeah,
The-
PNC Park is gorgeous.
Yeah, I've not been there, but
I got pictures of it. I'll try to show you later, or maybe send so you could throw into this. PNC Park is, and it's always rated up to the top of like one of the best ballparks. But my guilty pleasure team, and this is gonna sound sad compared to who my regular team is, of who my guilty pleasure team is.
Reds.
Huh?
Reds.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's a West Coast team. I usually try to separate my teams, if at all possible. But my guilty pleasure team, and this has been my guilty pleasure team for years, I need to emphasize this, is actually the Los Angeles Dodgers.
No, hell.
I swear, like that. I
That
remember.
sounds like a bandwagon to me.
No, like whenever I was like a little kid, Clayton Kershaw was the first one that really made me start liking the
He said
Dodgers.
as a little kid posted up Clayton Kershaw.
That's still
Jeez,
playing.
man, I was like a daggone adult when he started playing.
Hey, I don't think I was even in high school whenever he started playing.
Okay,
But I remember,
buddy.
I remember his first at bat one year, and what made me really start liking him. Well, I already knew he was a good pitcher and stuff. And it was like the first at bat of opening day for the Dodgers. He hit a home run. And I don't think he's even hit a home run since then, but still.
Ah, shoot.
Man, back when I was young, I used to like the White Sox because I liked Frank Thomas, and I used to like the Mariners because I liked Ken Griffey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Remember back in the day when he had all them deals with Pizza Hut, you'd go over and get one of them bats that
Yeah.
throwing that ball on the Ken Griffey bat.
Yeah.
That was the days, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Can't relate. Don't be
All right. So, yeah, of course you don't. You probably weren't even born. How old are you again?
28.
Dang. Jeez.
Left shoot.
Let's see. Let's go NHL.
I can't even say I have a favorite NHL team. I've never watched a hockey game either. In
Really?
addition to never watching wrestling, like the most I watched at Andrew's house today before we started coming here to record is the most wrestling I've ever watched in my life. I've been trying to keep up with it a little bit more, especially since I knew we were starting this podcast and stuff. I've been trying to, trying to learn some about it. And I'm doing this for you guys, the fans, okay? Because, I know nothing about wrestling. But it's a sport I want to get behind, but it's just, I've never sat down to really get behind it.
I'll watch it just so I can see them fight. Yeah.
Was it? I mean, if I had to pick a team, I used to play NHL games.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
I think I always picked the New Jersey Devils?
Yeah.
I used to pick them.
I
all the time.
haven't watched the NHL game in a while, and the other night I watched the Devils play the Flyers.
I will
See,
say
was
that,
it like the New York Islanders are still a team?
Yeah, and the Rangers, New York Rangers.
I will say that Columbus has a team. Where are they?
Blue Jackets or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
Blue
I like
Jackets.
the-
Their tickets come up on VetTix a lot, and that's
I-
something that I would like to do.
I
I do want to
remember-
go to a hockey game so bad.
I
I
like
will
the-
say that.
I like the Carolina Hurricanes,
Yeah.
Florida Panthers.
Do they
I like
play in
their
Charlotte?
uniform. I think Greensboro.
They play Greensboro.
Oh.
I remember, when I used to work at Dish Network years and years and years ago, because you used to be able, back then you had to order, buy the games to watch. Man, was it the St. Louis Blues?
Yeah.
They were the most requested hockey team ever. That's anytime they were playing, people would call and pay $60 just to watch one game.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, man, maybe hockey's where it's at. But yeah, I thought that's pretty good, man. We started out with trivia. We went through some guilty pleasure teams. This is what this podcast is going to bring you, just random stuff. Like we talked about wrestling, we talked about video games, we talked about everything. We're about the 45-minute mark. Y'all feeling good about this episode?
I am. And but I got
Hey,
something.
we still got at least another sport that I can think of that we haven't touched on of guilty pleasure teams.
What?
Well, I got something to say before we move
Oh,
into
go
the
ahead.
last guilty
Go ahead.
pleasure.
Okay.
Guys, cards. We're going to give these away. 500 followers on Facebook. We want you to go to YouTube, TikTok, follow, subscribe, whatever. in this blaster box, you can get threads, Donruss threads, rookie phenoms, which could be huge right now, and jersey memorabilia, which means that it could have a patch of an actual game-worn jersey on the card. So the resale value on those is really high. Share with your friends, follow us, like, subscribe, and let us give away these cards to you.
Hey, you know what? You know, this is something we haven't discussed. This is the first time they're getting ready to hear this. But I'm feeling a little bit generous. We need to get our YouTube following up a little bit. So, wherever we go to post, you know, that we're getting ready to do that giveaway, if you can show that you're following us on YouTube as well, we'll add an extra entry for you on there as well. Because we need to get that YouTube following up a lot. We got a lot of Facebook followers. And let's face it, we already know you guys are on YouTube and you're already watching stuff. Go ahead and give us a follow on there. If you following us on YouTube, we will make sure that we put your name in there one more time to show that appreciation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a great
For sure.
idea. Good job, man. That's a great idea.
So what was
What's
you
that
say?
last sport? What is it?
NBA.
Oh,
Man, that's kind of hard for me to pick because I don't follow the NBA. I kind of just, like I said, Boston because of Joe Mazzulla, Chicago because of Michael Jordan and Javon Carter now. Charlotte because, I mean, they're close.
also the Knicks, they got Deuce.
Yeah, Deuce.
He's good.
McBride, New York Knicks. I don't know. I just can't. Knicks, you know, Carmelo Anthony, if I had to pick a player, I used to follow him a lot when he was at the Nuggets and the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I just can't. I don't really have a guilty pleasure because I mean, I just
You don't really have
when I
much.
was
I don't have
growing
a
up,
team.
like in elementary school, middle school, and high school, it was the Toronto Raptors. When I played basketball, I was number 15 for Vince Carter.
Yeah, so that was mostly a player, not a team.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
feel like
when he.
I don't know those Raptors jerseys from the 90s.
Oh, dude, those
I don't
Fire.
care what anybody
Fire.
says. I'll throw hands if you try to say that there's a better NBA jersey than those Raptor jerseys.
I'll tell
from
you
Raptors.
two that rival it. Two that
Detroit
rival it.
Pistons.
The old Pistons one that had like the horse with the exhaust pipe.
Yeah, that was a good
And
jersey.
the Memphis or Vancouver Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Man, those old Grizzly teal.
They were
those
fire.
are
You know
fire.
what
will
hit
say
hard?
one-
You know what hit hard back in the 90s? Daggone NBA windbreakers.
Oh, dude. I
Golly.
still got a Hornets one. It was a
Everybody had a Hornets one.
dude,
Hey, let me tell
and
you.
a Magic one, and they were both starter brands.
Starter was it, buddy.
That's how old they are.
I think another jersey that I really like though, as far as NBA goes, was like the LA Knights or the Black Mamba jerseys that the Lakers
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
black and gold ones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
R.I.P.
That's-
Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I remember whenever I first heard about what happened to Kobe. I was at work. Whenever I was working with you, Andrew.
I was on my way to Richmond.
Well, I was working with you, and I had multiple people come up and tell me, "Did you hear about Kobe?" No. Man, he passed away. I'm like, no, he didn't. Go on. And with the job I had, I didn't have access to TVs or anything like that. Like, all right, I wasn't allowed to check my phone, so like I was really isolated. And people kept on coming up to me, "Man, Kobe passed away. Man, Kobe passed away." I'm like, no, he didn't. Go on. You know, I literally thought at that point that there was just a mass prank that people were trying to pull
Yeah.
on me for some reason.
Dude.
And with where I was working, that wasn't out of the realm of possibilities.
Right.
So I'm standing there, and then finally I get off work and I check my phone. And as soon as I open up Facebook, the first 10 posts on Facebook were about him.
Yeah. Dude, I remember it. And I was on my way to Richmond, Virginia for my job. And Emily calls me, my wife, and says Kobe Bryant just died. And I didn't believe her. And I just kept driving a little bit. And I was like, man, like, I never thought like celebrity death or player's death would even, bother you. You know. So I pulled over at the rest station. I pulled up my phone. I'm like, damn, Kobe Bryant really died. And I'm like, when I got to thinking about it, I spent the 90s and late 90s, early 2000s, Allen Iverson,
Yeah.
watching those championships with my dad.
Yeah.
Watching the LA Lakers. So I was like, dang, dude, that's like an era of,
Oh, absolutely. The
time.
Shaq and Kobe
yeah,
era.
Shaq and Kobe and all of them.
I feel like there's going to be some celebrity / player deaths that are. I mean, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's going to be some that really hit. You know?
Let's save that for the next episode. We'll
Yeah.
talk about some celebrity deaths that I don't want to say it like that. Let's talk about somebody that's like, who is your ultimate like favorite sports person?
Yeah. All right, we can do that. So,
All right, so
guys,
hey, catch us again, man.
if you want to hear about,
Absolutely.
if you want to hear that about the celebrity, or what'd you say, favorite
Like
celebrity?
your favorite celebrity or sports person.
All right, so if you want to hear about that, you'll have to join us on Friday's episode. Y'all
Thank
take
you,
it
dude.
easy.
Hey, take it easy.
Stories, come along for the ride. We're building a community, one listener at a time. Follow and subscribe, let's make this climb. Feel the rush as we hit